get a womp womp? I am a very active member of my community. I am in the Student Programming Association, or SPA if you like acronyms. What we do is we set up concerts and stuff. So a couple weeks ago, we were planning this concert, and we have like a group message for like 30 people in the group, so when somebody says something, everybody gets it. You know how a group message works. So anyway, this girl texts to the group message, she says, "Random question, if the show gets delayed, should I still come up at 5 to set up?" But it wasn't a random question at all. It was very pertinent to the show and our duties in the spa. So I replied, "Random answer, car wash, asparagus, honeybee." Because I wanted to counter her faux randomness with a kind of genuine randomness. And like, nobody replied to me. Somebody was like, "Yeah, come at 5. I don't know if they just think that I'm not funny or I'm a dick. Who knows? Not me. I don't care. Anyway, I want to talk to you guys about a very pressing issue to me. If you're walking on Pollock Road, west of the hub, there are 2 sets of 3 poles in the middle of the road. And I suppose they're there to direct the flow of traffic. But the weird thing about it is, I've noticed, especially when I'm walking by at like 9 a.m., sometimes these poles are above ground and they go underground, but then they just come back out of the ground for no apparent reason. And like one day I was walking by and this poor kid was crossing the street and the poles were in the ground and he wasn't looking and the poles come up and he tripped and he dropped all of his stuff. And I was like, man, this kid's just got his fucking day ruined by some poles. Like, who is controlling these things? So I have a theory that there's this guy on the side of Pollock Road who hides in the bushes. And he has a little control panel. And I call him the hee-hee man because he waits for his victim to cross the street. And he goes hee-hee, hee-hee. And he pushes the poles up and then they trip. And what I'm trying to say is we need to stop the hee-hee man. I don't know, Stop Coney didn't really go anywhere, but Stop Hee-Hee Man 2014. Hee-Hee Man is like 20,000 times more dangerous than He-Man. He-Man, first of all, used his powers for good. Second of all, He-Man was a cartoon character. He does not pose a real threat to us. He-Man is very dangerous. I do not want to even think about the kind of terror that could be wrought by He-Man or He-Man, but I'm not trying to scare anybody, so we'll move on. You might think I'm a little too worried about it. It's possible. Sometimes people get too worried about stuff, I noticed. I was at a party a couple weeks ago, outside smoking cigarettes with a couple of dudes. They had a couple of brews. I'm with these dudes and brews. And we were just talking about whatever dumb shit you talk about when you're drunk at a party outside. And all of a sudden one of the dudes was like, "Hey man, did you see that cop car pull up? Oh shit, like, we got our brews out here, you know, a couple of dudes with some brews, and you know, we could get in trouble as an open container law and stuff." I was like, "Hey dudes, I think you're a little too worried about these brews." But they were like, "Nah man, we're going in." So they start to run inside with their cigarettes still lit. And I'm like, "Hey man, do you want me to take your cigarettes?" He's like, "Nah, we're worried about the brews." And I was like, "Yeah, of course, I'm not gonna ask for your brews. I'm not trying to fuck myself over. I just don't want you to go up and stank the party up with your cigs and give us, like, cig smokers a bad look, you know? Give us a bad rap." I didn't have time to explain all that because they just ran in and locked me out. But the funniest thing about it was there wasn't like a police sign on the car. Because it wasn't a police car, it was a pizza delivery guy. The guy got out of the car with a pizza. He went up to some apartment with the pizza because somebody in a different apartment ordered pizza and he gave them their pizza. And so people these days, they can't tell a pig from a pizza man. And I mean, you know, what do I know? I mean, I've actually never used an umbrella because I don't know how they work. So like, my judgment, you know, I can't really blame these people for this kind of thing. I have lapses in judgment too. The other week, another great cigarette story for you. Me and my friend Brian, we were sitting down on this bench, and there's a bench right across that faced our bench. We, you know, just a couple of pals talking. We sat down, lit up our cigarettes at the same time. I noticed these two other pals come by. They're right across from us, and they both have a large banana in one hand. And what I really wanted to happen was that they both sit down, look at us, and then light up their bananas and start smoking. Because I thought it would have been like a really hilarious parallel to what we were doing. But that didn't happen. They just had a short conversation, to each his own with his own banana. They parted ways. And I don't know, I guess what I'm trying to say is like, sometimes life gives you a banana. It's your choice whether or not you want to smoke your banana. But if you smoke your banana, things would be a lot funnier. Thanks, guys.